Belgium has become the first country in the world to pass a law that gives labour rights to sex workers. From today, they will be entitled to health insurance, pensions, sick days and maternity leave. This is an unprecedented effort to regulate the sector. The profession is already legal in some countries, but establishing employment rights is a global first. I'm pleased to say that joining us from Brussels is a worker in the industry, Mel, and here in the studio with me is our gender and identity correspondent, Sophia Betteser. Sophia, a world first, take us through what changes from today.
Yeah, it's a law that is the first of its kind. So as you said, from today in Belgium, sex work will be treated like any other job. And that means that employees get pensions, healthcare, maternity leave. And, let's remember that these are rights that they never had until now. They'll also be able to enter official contracts with their employers, and they will be allowed to refuse any client and any sexual act. And that is really important because, as we know, this is an industry where a lot of women are pressured to do things they don't want to do. And so all in all, this is an unprecedented effort to regulate the sector.
Mel, it's so great that you're with us in Brussels. Thank you for joining us to tell us what your reaction and from other people in the industry is to this massive change.
So I am very happy that this actually came through, because this means that now we have the same rights as a person who does any other job. And we are much more protected on the work floor. So I think I'm very happy to be a Belgian sex worker right now, really.
What was it like when you were younger? Like, why is this law going to be so good for you and for others?
So it's going to change a lot, mostly on the work floor. So we will work with the 4 freedoms, which means that we can choose which sexual partner we want to do or which one not. We can put conditions on the sexual acts. We can choose which sexual acts we want to do and which one not. And we can choose when we want to stop the sexual acts with the client. And these 4 freedoms need to be respected, which means we have more control in our own bodies again when working for a boss. They cannot obligate to make us do anything we actually don't want to do. Now, further than this, it's also important that when sex workers get sick or when they get pregnant or something, before we didn't have rights to have maternity leave or something, which is possible now. And I think that's very great, because laws are there in the whole wide world, and laws means protection for us as a human. So it's very important that it's also there in sex work.
Has there been some criticism of this change?
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh, hang on now. I'm going to bring in Sophia and then I'll let you respond.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. No.
So there has been quite a bit of criticism from people who say that, this law is dangerous because it normalizes a profession that is exploitative, and that there is no way to make sex work safe or dignified. Just to give you an example, under the new law, every room where sexual services happen will be equipped with an alarm button that links a sex worker with the reference person. And the criticism is, what kind of dignified job would require a panic button? And the other criticism is that the reality for a lot of women that choose sex work is that they have no choice. They need money, they're desperate, and what those people need is help with alternatives, with finding a different kind of job. It's not about labor rights, it's about not having sex with strangers for money.
Mel, can I ask you to respond now to some of those criticisms? Firstly, that people think this is going to normalise sex work in some ways.
I think we need to understand as people that sex work exists for a very, very long time, and it will keep on being existent. So it's very important that there are rules to maintain this and to make sure that it is it's ruled properly. So these laws are very important. We cannot deny that sex work will not exist.
You started the interview by saying that you were really happy to be working in the sex industry today with these changes.
Yes.
So what then do you say to people who say that, this will help, some people are coerced into it and don't want to be in it and they're just doing it for money?
Yeah, I understand that they maybe do it for money, but there are also a lot of people who want to do this job because they want to do this job. And indeed, if they are only doing this job to have the money, but if you will take the job away from them, they will probably also maybe have trouble. And I think that if that is the case, then there should be indeed more help for them to find something else to do. But these laws that came through now here in Belgium is made for that. So when we notice that people are doing the job but actually they don't want to do the job, they will get help from the government and from Utopia and everything to make sure that they will be helped to find something else to do.
Mel, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us from Brussels. Sophia as well, thank you. You can see Sophia's extended piece as well about the new law on the BBC World Service YouTube channel. So do log on and take a look. There is also an article on the BBC News website. So log on and look at that as well.